Hey, attention all realtors. So you submitted an offer for your client to a seller. How long should you allow them to think it over and shop your deal? We'll go over that in this tutorial right after this. Hey, congratulations. So it sounds like you're about ready to put in an offer for your buyer. That's great news. Well, the big question I get all the time, especially for new agents, is how long should I allow my contract to be open? Or how long should I give the seller to make a decision? There's a couple facets into this conversation that we're going to go over. Now, the first and foremost is the type of market that you're in. 10 years ago, in the real estate market, you could even give away a house sometimes, depending on what the offer was, because we were in an environment that home prices were depreciating. So the thought of owning a home was not a really good idea. But in the market we're in now, we all know that it's a very hot market. Things are flying off the shelves very quickly, which means you as the agent have to move quickly as well. So with that being said, in this type of market that we're in, I like to use the 5 business hour rule. Now, one other caveat is when you put in an offer, if your offer is what the client or is at asking price or higher, you really need to be aggressive as a buyer's agent. A lot of situations and times, sellers like to dictate the terms in a sense of highest and best, 3 days from now, showing starts Saturday morning, we'll review everything on Wednesday at noon during a cup of tea. Don't follow those rules. You're going to set your buyer up to be in a multiple offer situation, and they're more than likely going to lose anyhow. Make sure, as in any negotiation, that you control the terms. There's a saying, he who holds the gold is king. Who has the gold? Your buyer. The buyer has the money that they're going to be purchasing the property. So make sure you dictate the terms. Now let's go back to the 5 business hour rule that I was talking about earlier. Now, when I say 5 business hour rule, I look at in the field of real estate that realtors work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so let's give an example. If your buyer looked at a house in the afternoon, decides to put in an offer that late afternoon or at dinner time, okay, you get everything signed and get everything submitted. But say the seller does not receive your offer until 8 at night. You can't expect them to make a decision on an offer at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so what I do is I will give them about 5 business hours. So if you count 5 business hours from 9 to 9, okay, so 8 to 9, that's about 1. And then 9 a.m. starts the next day. So you have 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So I would give the seller, especially if I put in a full price offer, giving them exactly what they're wanting, I would give them till after lunch the following day. With technology, electronic signatures that we have, you can move information as well as paperwork very quickly. Most people have a lunch break. If you submit an offer at 8 o'clock at night, more than likely that seller will receive that offer that night. They'll sleep on it. They'll wake up, have breakfast. They'll go to work. They have lunch. They know in their mind if they're going to accept that offer immediately once they've received it. Because especially if you give them a full price offer, what's the issue? Okay, that's the thing I always stress to agents. If you're giving a seller exactly what they want, if they're selling a pickup truck in their yard for $10,000, you ask and you give them a bucket full of cash of $10,000, you should expect you should be receiving that truck and title in hand. If you don't, and they want to negotiate a higher price of $10,000, you have to think of it as, that doesn't make sense. Is that ethical? And are they just jacking your buyer around? And you have to approach it that way. Longer you give your seller to think it over, it opens the door into a multiple offer situation. And I promise you, you'll probably lose more times than not. So remember the 5 business hour rule. It's a great rule, works for us. It's worked for me for years. So thanks for watching this tutorial on how long you should give your seller time to look over your offer. And we look forward to sharing more information. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe below. We come out with great content every week. So this is Adam Ashmont, President of Ashmont Realty, and we'll see you next time.